Hello again, welcome back to the channel. As you can see behind me, we're at Dunston Staithes. So, I'll tell you all about it. Let's begin. The land on the banks of the Tyne alongside Dunston Coal Staithes is called St Omer's Hall on the east side of the River Thames. Historically, it belongs to the medieval hospital of St Mary's in Newcastle. The Dunston Staithes were built by North East Railways. The first pile was driven on the 26th of August 1890, and it was actually opened on the Monday, 16th of October 1893, and the first steamer loaded at 7:20 a.m. was called Homeside. It is said that Dunston Staithes are the largest timber structure in Europe and probably in the world. The structure is made from North American pitch pine timber. They're roughly around about 526 meters long, with 4 railway tracks, 6 loading berths, 3 on each side, and 2 chutes for each berth. In the early 19th century, wagonways were used to transport the coal from North Durham coalfields, of which there were quite a few. Dunston at the time was a largely agricultural, supplying food in Newcastle for Gateshead. Ships came into the Tyne at Dunston from all over the world to collect the cargo. The crew would need feeding, so Dunston shops did very well in those days. There were 4 wagonways that were leading down to the Staithes. The first one was Wickham Grand Lease, running from Bucks Hill, Wickham to Lobley Hill, and then on to Dunston, past the Dun Cow and down Ravensworth Road. It was built by a consortium of companies and handled about 100,000 tonne of coal each year. The first steam engine in the north was built in 1814 by George Stephenson, and between 1699 and 1724 there was a Dunston Way running from Blackfells and Gibbside to Dunston. It is now part of a footpath known as Keelsman's Walk. There was also the Ravensworth Way, built by Liddles of Ravensworth. It ran from Lamesley to Ayton to the Thames and then on to Dunston. The scale of the operation was quite large, for after just 1 year the coal shipments had increased from 20,000 tonne to 130 tonne per annum, and in 1894 1,289,000 tonne was shipped from Dunston in 1,037 vessels. The Staithes was so successful that in 1898 the North East Railway Company decided to build an inner Staithes to double their capacity, with a tidal basin for the retention of vessels. Up to 20 ships would wait in a Tyne to be loaded at a time. To build the basin, islands had to be removed and the shallows deepened. There were 3 islands. One of them, the largest one, was King Meadows, which I've done in an earlier video. I'll put a link in the description below. In the process, flooding would occur until these operations were complete. The river had a poor reputation at the time, as anyone who lived in Dunston would tell you. The fact the River Thames, the Gut as it is called, was said to be the most highly polluted river in the country. In 1938, 400 million tonnes of coal was exported from the Staithes. The coal wagons were pushed by steam engine up the gradient to the Staithes. It was a very skillful job to shunt the wagons onto the Staithes, as the drivers worked blind from behind and had to make sure they were on the right track. The men had their own signals, maybe a touch of a cap or some other gesture, but there was nothing written down, so the drivers had to depend on them. Once on the Staithes and at the berths, the teamers and trimmers were waiting in the colliers to level the coal as it came down the chutes to keep the ships level. The empty wagons would roll back to the railway sidings by gravity. It was not a pleasant place to work, as it was noisy, oily, and very, very dirty. There were occasionally some very serious accidents because of poor lighting. During the Staithes glory days in the 1929, 140,000 tonne of coal per week were loaded, and in 1970 production dropped to just about 3,500 tonnes per annum. Trade had steadily declined from the end of the Second World War. It had never recovered. The rundown was gradual, but there was a close working Staithes in 1979, and finally in 1980 it closed. In 1990, after there was a refurbishment by Gated Council with help from central government grant, the Staithes was opened as a walkway as part of a riverside site which was part of the National Garden Festival, and in the early 20th century there was around 30 wooden jetties along the Tyne. In 2003 there was a big fire in the Staithes, an arson attack. It took 70 firefighters to try and put out, but 20% of the Staithes was lost. There was other fires after that, 2010, 2009, last one being in 2020, I believe. And it used to open for the public, still does, I think, in little bits. Certain times, I think the next one's the 3rd of August. Now, I hope you like that little walk around by Dunston Staithes. We're going to head off to the Metro Centre now. If you like these sort of videos, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, much appreciated. Hit the notification bell if you want to see more of these videos, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.